Hi, my name is Pranav and welcome back to my course on object-oriented programming in Python. In this lecture, we will be discussing about inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. So, first we'll be discussing about inheritance. Inheritance is a core concept of object-oriented programming, and inheritance allows you to inherit the data structure of a parent class as a child class. So it forms a hierarchical relationship between two classes, and this parent class is essentially from a class from which the child class inherits, and the child class is also known as a subclass. So the parent class is also the child class inherits all the methods and the variables from the parent class. And will take an example of how it works. So class, let's make it as animal, and we set up the initializer self and dot we self dot run. But now let us put another. Now we put a class, say dog, and here we initialize it with when we set up the initializer, but we set the self dot animal as dog. Set up the inheritance by inheriting from the animal class. We use the super method. So now we create an instance of the dog. So we say it is good boy or dog, and we print out with dot animal. Let's see what we get. We got none because it inherits the data from the parent class, which overrides the data from, as we use the super method, it overrides the data from the subclass or the dog class. So this is how inheritance works, and we also see multiple inheritance, so we can set up. I'll not be going into multiple inheritance now, but to give you an idea, so let us put animal and uh, class puppy, animal as well as dog, animal as well as dog. So this is acts as a multiple inheritance, and same thing. We don't put an initial. We do not put an initializer to this class, but we use just the super dot I. So we set it with puppy. Yeah. Let's see what we get here now. So as we see, initializer is required for even the subclasses as well. Now let's see what we get. Python is invoking a method MRO or method resolution order. So, but it cannot determine the MRO for this particular case, so it's throwing an error. Since dog already inherits from animal, so we remove the inheritance and instead let's see what we get now. Now we'll keep an animal as baby dog. Now let's see what we get here. So this is actually a part of, this is not inheritance, but this would come as method overriding, which we'll learn in polymorphism. And so I will discuss polymorphism now. So polymorphism is also a crucial concept of object-oriented programming, and it is the ability of different classes to overload their class, that is getting multiple inputs from multiple types of and multiple number of inputs and passing them to the class. So this we'll have an instance of this as well in the same class. So I I have this one self, but I do want to pass a variable called as the name of the dog. So I just process a name is equal to none. So this either either sets the name as none or is none, then name it as baby dog, or name it as name it to the name. So we have two instances, good boy and good boy 2 is equal to puppy. We'll just name it as Goldie. So we will get different results here when and good boy 2 dot animal. Yeah, we got baby dog as the first instance of the class and Goldie as the second instance of the class. So we are taking in multiple inputs and getting different outputs, but this is known as method overloading. And method overriding is basically when the child class or when the method in the child class overrides that of the parent class, as we saw here, as the this initializer method overrides the initializer method of the dog class and animal class. So this is known as method overriding. And we'll also be discussing, finally, I'll change the code up a bit. Finally, we'll be working with abstraction. Abstraction is a crucial concept in Python, object-oriented programming, and abstraction essentially defines a base class which acts like a blueprint for other subclasses to follow, and subclass and abstraction base class module is a module which is defined in Python, and it is used generally to define a certain structure for the abstract base class, and which needs to be followed by other classes. And this is an especially beneficial concept in a business place where many teams work together. So this adds a layer of security as it defines the structure of the class which needs to be followed without having to share the internals of the base class. So this acts as a secure system where only the structure is revealed without having to reveal the complete details of the base class. And so I've created a abstract base class program. So I've created the abstract base class called animal. So animal here is the abstract base class which inherits the abstract base class method from the module, and I'm using the property decorator. The property method I actually define make sure that the subclasses only follow the structure of the base class and does not change the structure in between. So if I change the structure here of say dog, I put dog dot noise instead of noise instead of sound, and here I use dog one dot noise. It will throw an error as can't initiate abstract class the abstract method sound, so it throws an error. So only when I run it with sound as defined in the abstract base class is when the program runs smoothly. Okay, as I've dog inherits from the animal base class, and again the properties to make sure that the structure is followed. And this abstract method, this sort of decorator is used as a class method decorator, the where the where the class is directly used without having to declare an object in the program. So finally, we do the same for the cat as well, but we sound change sound as meow instead of bow and dog. So as finally we get different sounds for the we get for the pro in the program. And finally, I'll be ending the lecture here as this covers the three main important concepts of object-oriented programming and also is among the four pillars of object-oriented programming. I've already covered encapsulation in the last sections. Thank you and have a great day.